Okay, so there was just too much to say about this in a text. So I'm just gonna I my background is website design and e-commerce setup and management, and I think orangutan Trang or something covered like some of this, but I just wanted to be a little bit more specific with what you like have to change about this. So there are so I've some comments on the website. These are all simple changes that you should be able to do yourself, um, but the but then I also have some comments about the bar actually itself, because this is the type of thing that I would purchase typically. But I just wanted to give you a tip about that, although it's probably too late anyway. So the the first thing here, this header here, um, this is the hero section right here. I would your this orange is like something that pops and stands out on a page, but it just blends into the background when it's also orange. So this background should be white, and and then you let this pop from the like on the background, like it make it really stand out. It just blends in too much here. Second, this text, I can't select it. That means it's in the image. This is just an image with text on it. That is terrible for SEO. That's terrible for your SEO. You want as many words as possible to help Google and Bing and all the other search engines find your content. It's very important to not put your text inside, bury it inside of an image, even though some search engines like Google are now checking images for content. I don't know. There's no good evidence to show that they'll rank you for something that's in in a in this. And this is the most important part of your page. This is your heading one, and it's buried in an image. There's no way you can't put heading one inside the image. So there's no, how does Google know what weight to give this anyway? When someone searches Shroom bar, you want to come up for sure. They're looking for you, and you may come up, but if you're the only one, but if someone wants to take that SEO from you after you do all the work to boost it up, you're going to lose it. So that's the first thing. The I think the text here is okay. It's I would do a little bit more SEO. One of the things that I like to do for my clients, and I didn't always provide content, but with AI, it just makes it so much simpler, is I just go in, I just tell your story to Google, like copy and paste it right from Reddit. I mean, right to ChatGPT, and then and use 4.0 or IO is the newest one, beta if you have the advanced version, and then ask it, pick a good template page and ask it to help you fill in the content. So like describe the content to it, and then have it like, so say like in the hero section, I have the H1 title and a paragraph about the product, and then with an image. And the image, you already know what you're going to have. You don't really need to describe that. And you can ask it for like for more iterations, and then describe the next section. The next section has three image boxes with a icon, short heading, and a short description. And let it come up with a good way to lay out this whole website. So just go describe the whole template, and don't use this. And I'm going to get into some more reasons why this isn't great, but pick one that looks really nice, and then use ChatGPT to help you fill in the content for the sections that come with the template. So that's just an easier way. Like you need more spacing here. Like white space is 100% your friend. We don't have newspapers anymore where you have a finite amount of space. You have plenty of space. The logo, you can't see it, right? it's too, like, this is why I always tell my clients, like, never to have a logo made like this. For your particular use case, it's okay for the bar and stuff. It looks really good, but you have to have two versions. You have to have your tall version here, which is really tall. And I say it's really tall because you can't stick it in a header like this and make it readable. Like, no one can tell what that is right there, right? You can't see that that's what that is. So what you actually want to do is you want to take this image here. You want to take Shroom bar outside this part here, outside of the circle, make the gorilla bigger in the circle, and then put Shroom bar alongside of it so you can put it up here. So I can see Shroom bar right here, and then just I would just make it so the gorilla can be a little bit bigger. So I would make this header maybe a little taller, or maybe it overlaps the page. So like it has a little bit of negative margin right here. So you see the big gorilla here, and then it says Shroom bar. And then if this is white background, then it'll just like flow into the page. That can look good sometimes. And I've done that for a few clients that couldn't change their logo. So that's what I would recommend for that as well. And then, I mean, it can even, like, as you're scrolling down the page, still hang down below, or it can shrink. There's a lot of different things you can do. Again, if you want to do something and utilize CSS, I mean, I don't use Shopify personally, but if you're using, like, you should be able to add your own custom CSS. So that's what I would do. Look for something that has good white space. That's why I say pick a template, because anybody that designs a template is going to understand spacing and white space, and not to do things like this. This text is all the way across the page. I literally have to turn my head. I can't just read it with my eyes. I have to turn my head to read one line of text. No one's ever going to read this. Text should never be wider, in my opinion, than like 700 pixels. So on a page. So it should be like maybe to here, and like let it wrap. But this is too long of text. Now there's just not enough content here. It's not interesting enough. It looks like somebody. It just. The reason that this is important is because it just looks amateurish, and there are scam websites that look like much more professional, right? So it just looks unprofessional, like you're not a real company. And it's very hard to get somebody to put in a credit card on a website that you don't look like necessarily a real company. So I would definitely use a template, and you have content. You know what the content you need on your page is, which is great. So now when you're looking for the template, it's like, okay, I know I need something where I can put a good image of these mushrooms and give them good description, and that's and use the content that you already have to kind of pick, like, because you need something for this section, you need something to go a little bit more into descriptions. And I mean, honestly, it's really just a one-page website. Very unprofessional. This is like, it just doesn't look great. So highly recommend picking a template and utilizing ChatGPT to help you fill in content for it. And you can give some more information as well. You can give it a couple of, like, if you want it to write content for your page and come up with the things for your section for your template, and have it be a little creating content with SEO or a marketing strategy in mind. Like, you could say, I want to use the pain agitate solution marketing strategy. Here's my background. Here's what the page layout is. Give me content for each section, and then fill in the content, and it'll utilize the PAS, the pain agitate solution, or ADA, or whatever marketing strategy you want to employ on the page that you're working on. So the other thing is, somebody else also mentioned putting a lot more content on your product page. I would scrap the product page altogether. I would just have, or make your product page, like, put this at the bottom of a landing page with plenty of calls to action, but with a landing page to, and like, look up good, like, sales landing pages for inspiration. again, ChatGPT can help you with the content for that, but you basically want to go through everything you said in that Reddit thread as far as, or actually, no, you just talked about the process. What you want to talk about is the benefits and how it's impacted your life and why. Like, tell more like what was so amazing in your trip to Europe about, doing the taking the mushrooms or whatever. Like, how exactly, give examples, and you can have ChatGPT write all that out for you too. You can give all that information to it, and then have it spit back out that information for you. So I don't want to get too long of a video here. I think once you find a good template to use, then you can, like, pretty easily, all your content's here already pretty much. And again, it's really easy with ChatGPT to change it anyway. The only other thing is that, like, I think someone else mentioned the call to action. What does that even mean? I mean, it brings you to this page, but what does that even mean? Like, it doesn't start shroom barring. Like, what I'm, buy now or something like that. Like, give it an immediate call to action. Some people will be going to your website and they're already convinced to buy, and you want to give them immediately that's what this button here is for. Tell them what you're doing, right? Buy Shroom bar, right? Whatever. But pay attention to caps too. That B should be capitalized. I'm almost positive. Yeah. So that's what that's enough on the website. I was actually going to pre-order this, but I'm very curious. When you made these at home, did you use whey protein isolate? Did you use peanut oil? Did you put sunflower lectin in it? Did you put natural flavors? So, like, these are some of the things that, like, I use. And one thing you should put all these ingredients into an app called Yucca if you don't use it already. Yuka. And most people that are, like, health conscious and would understand and know about the benefits of mushrooms is going to scan this or put the ingredients into that app or a similar app, and it's going to tell them that it's hazardous because of some of these additives. If you didn't put it in when you made it at home, don't put it in this either. I mean, that's one of the things, like, I know that it needs to be preserved, but it's really, really, like, a lot of these things are just super, super bad. Natural flavors is bad. Like, there are some things in here that you can set yourself apart again by also, like, making it and advertising it as not having any of the nitrates or preservatives or anything like that in it, that, like, extracts, like, a lot of these things. I mean, stevia leaf extract might be okay. Is that instead of sugar, so it can have low sugars? I mean, I guess stevia is one of the good ones. Is stevia one of the good ones? I can't remember. There are good ones and there are bad ones. I would look into it to make sure that you're using the right one, but also making sure that this is a healthy option is going to be really important. Like, there's a few things, like, in here that I haven't put this in Yucca to see what the score would be, but you really want to make sure that that none of these ingredients are hazardous, are considered hazardous or concerning. That's pretty much what I had to say about that. It's highly recommend, like, and I would like to see more home brand companies doing things where they are eliminating the completely unnecessary, caking agents and stuff like that. It's just to make it, like, stick together a little bit better. People who care about that type of stuff don't understand that, like, their food's going to be a little bit more flaky or not look as nice if it's not dyed, right? So, like, I would highly recommend trying to like, I don't know about these whey protein isolates or anything like that, but utilize Yucca to put the ingredients in and see what you should update it or change it to. But other than that, I think I think you have a really good idea here. Personally would have tried to sell some um, before and build up like a, before I spent my life savings probably on it. You may have purchased too many, like get a little bit and then build it up. That's the only other advice. Like it's a little bit past that time, but try to sell through what you have. Potentially, like, I mean, you shouldn't have a problem. I mean, the stuff that you have in this is added to literally everything we eat. Although more and more information is coming out on the problems with all of these additives that we have in our food, but um, that's just me personally. I don't know how big of an issue that is, but it also could be a really big selling point that you say like we don't use any toxic chemicals in our um, food, right? So anyway, I hope this was helpful.